I can definitely remember my first class dance. It was a catastrophe, absolutely, because looking at those great dancers that I've been seeing either on video, on books, or performing live, it seemed so easy, and all of a sudden I was facing the difficulty of coordination, new ways of thinking, how you isolate different parts of your body, how you can relate some part nuances, or so. Yeah, it was a big mess. Actually, I was completely lost, and a lot of problem to find my right side to my left side. I mean, yeah, and that was terrible. I believe I started to dance because of, I would say, the feeling of freedom that I could see when I was watching dancers. The movement, the flow, the agility of the bodies into the space, the idea that they were working with time and space, structuring them with different nuances, I would say. So this idea, how do we shape this abstract world that we are living in? If I'm trying to think about that most definitive souvenir from the school, actually it would be the idea that I have felt somehow at university, in a campus. A lot of kids around different age, different interest into dance, different culture as well, trying to work as much as they could, really focusing actually on how to study dance in every extent, in every manner. So this feeling about maybe a sense of community, I would say, belongings, yeah, certainly. This would be what I would keep in mind. I think I was not really sure that I wanted to be a professional dancer, or at least I never formulated it really like that. When I was a student, to me, I was taking day after day. Dance, as you know, is the art of ephemeral. And I think I was like one of those flowers, just taking the best out of the day and not really making plans or career plans. It was not at all in my mindset. So it was more about, yeah, trying to get the best out of every single day, like it would be the last one. And then the transition has been quite natural, even though it didn't really ended in the best way for me when I joined the company, because I was the very last boy of my promotion, which was quite a shock, I would say. But well, lesson was taken, I believe, and I've understood what I was really aiming for. Probably in terms of motivation, there has been nothing which has motivated more than this event, which is quite yeah, an important event to me. I believe the most important for a dancer is those moments where you are in a studio and that you are sharing with the creators, with the creator, a choreographer. As an example, even every single moment are unique, because those choreographers, those artists, they have very different perception, and they are looking for different things. Their interest into the dancers might be very different. One will work and very grounded technique. The other ones will work more on the flow. The other ones might be more interested into the narrative. So I think, and with great choreographers, I mean, it's always a unique experience. I mean, there is nothing to compare there. So I'm not really sure that I could take one or the other. I have learned so much through their eyes, also what they could see, because as a dancer, of course, you can develop and you can work. However, you always need the eyes of those geniuses who will be able to reveal one part of yourself that you might not even be aware of. So yeah, it would be very difficult actually to me just to pick and choose one or two, but I would think of Roland Petit, Maurice Béjart for the French choreographers at first, or Angelin Prejlocage, certainly Matzek, William Forsythe, Yuri Kilian, of course, Jane Neumeyer, Jerome Robbins. I would not forget Rudolf Nureyev, which I'm thinking about absolutely every day. So yes, some of those amazing choreographers, amazing revelation as well, working with Trisha Brown as an example, which is a complete different aspect of dance, or research into dance, or Saburo Teshiawara as an example. I mean, there is nothing to, you cannot compare them. They are all unique. Le Jeune Homme et la Mort is a very dear piece to me, I have to say. First of all, it's a very short piece, super physical. You have to deal with a lot of things, different elements. The narrative first. Secondly, the technique. Thirdly, I would say the props all over, the tables, the chairs. And you are not alone. And you have to deal with the music, because Le Jeune Homme et la Mort was not composed on the music. So actually, you don't relate to the beat of the music, but actually it's kind of a quite modern way at the time to compose a ballet, because it's kind of a collage, which are accidentally, I would say, working well together. It has been a big revelation to me, because of the narrative and the dramatic tone of the piece. You are really digging deep down into every kind of emotion that you can have. And also, I would remember one of the things that Roland Petit told me while we were working, which has been absolutely an amazing, I would say, license to me, which was, he was the choreographer, so Roland Petit was is the choreographer of Le Jeune Homme et la Mort, and he said to me, okay, now you know the choreography, can you please invent it? You know the steps, so now I would like to feel that you just invent the moment. And what a license coming from the choreographer, allowing you just to find your ways, to go back to this natural expression, even though it is very codified, because you know exactly what you have to do. But really trying, just to invent the choreography. So one of the big moments of my life. And it has been a revelation and a key to a lot of other pieces and a lot of work with other choreographers. Well, thinking about Marguerite and Armand, now dancing it with Sylvie and being the following the step of Margot Fontaine and Rudolf Nureyev, now I'm starting to think that it was really crazy. We must have been completely out of our mind at that time. However, it was a great experience. We enjoyed it so much. And what was very interesting was the way that we have prepared it. First, of course, to get as much as documentation as possible. To really know what has how Rudolf and Margot has been doing it, what they had in mind, what Ashton had in mind as well. And then the big work was trying to forget about this, because it has been such an event and they have been such amazing and inspiring characters into this piece. So it was quite important to, with the knowledge about what has been done and respectfully to it, how we could be ourselves. So it was a bit ambivalent, you know, always going from one side to the other. But it was, absolutely a wonderful experience. I'm so thankful to have been able to do it. Well, the transition between a dancer and an artistic director, I think it cannot happen in one day. First of all, on my personal journey, I had a gap of, I would say, 3 years around there. I went back to study, and I have worked with different artistic projects, founding a school in Théâtre des Champs-Élysées as an example, or touring in France, creating ballets, teaching classes. When I was talking about going back to school, was studying management, structure, cultural institutions. So it hasn't, this transition hasn't been done in one day. Even though I was thinking about it for quite a while before. So I think it's it's a bit of work, I would say. And now to answer the second part of your question, which role do I prefer, which position, being a dancer and artistic director? I think it's so different. It is the same because we are working with the same material, which is about productions which are performed live on stage, but with so different approach, I would say. First of all, a dancer, even though you are aware and that you are working with a company, a group of dancers, most of the time you are really quite, I would say, without pejorative idea behind it, quite ego-centered, which is absolutely normal. You are your own tool, so you need to be really focused on yourself with the awareness of the others. Being a director is the exact opposite. I believe you have to forget about yourself, and you have to really take care, I would say, of the company as an overall. Not only the dancers, but the ballet masters, the staff, the theater, the audience experience, which is also important, the relation with the choreographers, how you are building the company. It's not only about this performance here and now tonight, is how you are working with the company to be able to lead the company in one direction, I would say. So it's completely different, and I must say that I do enjoy so far post position. It's a lot of challenge, and I love it. And there is something which is absolutely amazing when you are company director, is all of a sudden when you see a dancer making his own some notes that you have given, and then being able to grow and develop. It's absolutely a unique moment. You feel that they have wings growing, and then they are just going. So it's very moving. First of all, when I'm looking at a dancer in an audition, I do like going back to the very basics, which is dance. Do I feel dance? Do I see the potential, or that this dancer is actually dancing? This is one thing which is, I would say, absolutely on the top priority to me. Do I see the flow of the movements, the understanding of coordination, how you work with the space, with different directions? Is there any meaning between some vocabulary or some forms, intentions, sensibility as well? So I do like really starting from there. Then, of course, I'm looking at possibilities. I'm looking, okay, do I feel that these dancers has a good understanding on his surroundings, maybe his colleagues around, or the quality of the work that we are looking for, which is basically the intention of the choreographer. Will this dancer be able to serve faithfully an artistic vision? I'm talking about the choreographer's artistic vision now. So those are things which are very important to me. Do I feel that this person is a believer or not? Is these dancers believe in dance, which is very important? Can I feel his or her loyalty towards a group project, a community project, I would say. Yeah, so those are a few things that I'm looking at. When it comes to repertoire, to me it is important to put it into a context. I'm really looking at the context because I do not think that the repertoire should absolutely scratch the rest. I don't believe in a universal repertoire. This is how a repertoire in a ballet company should be. So it's important for me to contextualize it. Okay, who is the company? Where the company is coming from? Where the company is at the moment? What are the potentials? The audience, what are the audience expectations? How can we challenge the audience? How can we surprise them? I would say in an organic way, not to shock, absolutely, but how can we bring different world and approach? So this is very important to me. The repertoire of a ballet company in Sweden is certainly not the same as it is in London or in New York or in other places. So the understanding of these surroundings, the culture, the cultural environment, and how can we take the best out of the company as it is? How can we develop the company? How can we challenge the company are important things to me. Of course, I love ballet. I love absolutely that. I don't believe in ballet company not performing any kind of ballet. because it is such a refined technique, and I have so much respect for it. And we have had the chance to see so amazing artists and what they have already done with this technique, how they have developed it. So out of respect to them, I think it's really nice to carry on this knowledge, I would say. I would place it in terms of knowledge. Yes, actually, I do.